grab a copy of the Nigerian Tribune. Yes.
Another one is coming from Badagry to Sokoto.
We have a lot of highways coming up. Grab a copy of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper to get details of all those stories and lots more.
Good ones. Okay, let's talk about those roads. Let's talk about infrastructure. Let's talk about this government is actually doing that. But in the area of food that concerns the poor masses directly, they just have to be up and doing. Increase salaries, sort out minimum wage once and for all. Don't rest it on the governors. Put the governors on their toes, because even if you say, okay, governors go and talk about it, if you don't give them an ultimatum that between now and so day I want to have the report, some of them might not even take it seriously. So if this government is going to tell us that they care about the citizens, that they actually want the citizens to do better, they have to be up and doing. Absolutely. Don't leave this minimum wage issue in the hands of the governors. It can take forever.
It will take forever.
Because most of them are not even ready to pay in the first place.
Aside from the minimum wage, a lot of persons are of the opinion that the NLC should also clamor for a balanced economy. Because more money would not solve the problem.
Exactly.
Would not solve all the issues.
Of course.
Even if we have 62,000 naira now stamped as a new minimum wage, how much is a bag of curry? You still have an amount of money that will not be able to cater for a family of 4.
Of course. And there is tendency that we will have issues of more inflation.
Exactly, because now there's more money to spend, but that money still doesn't have the necessary value to get defend
commodities and what
so it is still almost the same thing.
Exactly.
We just have more money to squander. Exactly. More money for consumption. That is it. What we need to clamor for is a balanced economy. Let's have import duty. Why can't we? Okay, currently you say since we are importing a whole lot of things into the country, why can't you remove import duty?
He said that on one of the papers. We read it here.
Yes,
that he may.
We are still waiting for that.
Waiting. That means that there is a talk ongoing on that. Let's see. Let's wait and see if. Because
many a time on issues, I always say this and I will say it again, and I am very unapologetic about it. When it comes to matters that would really have an impact on the citizens, they are always talking about it. But when it comes to doing things for themselves,
it's always
immediately they do not take time to. Okay, now is the time that Mr. President because during the Federal Executive Council meeting on Tuesday, the issue of minimum wage was stepped down because, in quotes, he said he wants to consult. He has to consult. He is not the only one that has a say on the minimum wage. We understand all of that. Nobody is saying that, but you are Mr. President. You will have executive power to take some decisions on this.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, Mr. President needs to come up with a figure. Whether every other person has 1 or 2 things. 62. The Ministry of State for Labour is saying 62. We don't have the ones from the governor. Lagos has come out to say that it can pay 75.
That's good.
Edo State came out to say it can pay 70. Ogun State said it can do 62, but it is still shaky a bit. Other states are even coming out to say they can't even pay the 30, whereas they
have governors forum. If we have leaders that actually care about us, this is not a case. This is not a topic that is supposed to be lingering. You're supposed to just talk about it. Call maybe an emergency meeting, trash it out once and for all and let it rest.
How many consultations? How long did Mr. President consult before he said subsidy is gone?
Imagine.
How long did they consult before spending 21 billion naira on the vice president's civil residence? How many consultations did they make before 200 million was approved to buy SUVs? How many consultations were made before those decisions were taken?
But the truth is that there is no one to make the consultation with, because of hold on, the people you are to consult are the people that want the SUV, so there is no consultation. They will just approve it
by the time it comes to matters that affect the
populace,
you need to consult for years.
I am really
months.
disappointed at the way this minimum wage issue is being handled. He might try to carry everybody along, like, don't let me make the decision for them. He might even be thinking that I don't want to say something and some governors will refuse to pay. Let them be the one to tell me what they can afford, and then I'll be reasonable enough to put out my price there.
And it is,
I'll be reasonable enough to put my price out there. I don't have problem with that. He might have his reasons why he wants the governor, but he should put an ultimatum, because you already know these governors.
Exactly.
Look at state policing. State policing, he's still there. These governors are not doing anything.
Look at government autonomy, it's still
look at,
we still have states that have not filed their own reports
exactly.
for the local government autonomy,
exactly.
because they don't want
it. Okay, the southern governors this week said earlier that they are adopting state policing. Why are other states avoiding this state policing issue, even though we believe that the northern states need this state policing more?
Feeling the heat on this insecurity
exactly matters. I am coming to a point. See, if the southern governors have seen the seriousness of other governors, I believe that they would not have deviated from this discussion. They would have maintained with other governors. But now the southern governor forums are coming aside to say, on this state policing, we are coming out and we need it. What happens to other governors? Our priorities, the priorities of our leaders, it differs. So anything that concerns them goes, and the one that concerns us, we are on God. Okay, on the Nation newspaper this morning, Tinubu rallies governors on massive food production. Presidential baskets upgraded. Results oriented to plan. Federal government slashes conversion cost by half. So federal government slashes conversion cost by half. That's on the CNG buses. Surveillance operatives uncover oil theft scams again.
Many have been uncovered recently.
But
the Nigerian Air Force,
what happens?
Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, rather, not the Air Force, Nigerian Navy. The Nigerian Navy came out the other time to say that how many speedboats were caught with illegal crude.
Really?
The Nigerian Army came out to say that they I think about 115 illegal bunkeries were destroyed.
Really?
At the end of the day, there are no names.
No names.
There's never a time the army has come out to say, okay, this 115 or this 100 or this 200
illegal refinery, illegal whatever
belong to so person, and we are going after him.
That's why I said that the problem of this country does not really rely on the president alone, even though some people and I believe that 90% of it should be on the president, because if you make one decree, it will go a long way. You understand? But the thing is, politicians will always be politicians. My director, let's have the rest of this story. My director, and here on the radar, renewed hope legacy road infrastructure projects. That's on the Nation newspaper. We go on a quick break. My goodness. We go on a quick break. When we come back, we go on a quick break. We are still here. joining us. We apologize for that little drama. Okay, still on the Punch news, still on the newspaper front pages. We have the Punch here.
NNPC to boost economy with $4 billion gas project. Cholera. Government eyes vaccine donations as cases hit 1,579. Coming from the House of the National